Hey y'all. So I decided to redo this video because I wanted to talk about my black walnut bath and some of the things to expect after you take it. So this is my black walnut bath called the Coronation. It's a set. It's going to come with the liquid black walnut bath, and then it's going to include the white bath concentrate. You can add up to 1 gallon of water to this. This is what you will use to follow up after you take the black walnut bath. And my set does come with instructions on how to prepare for it, what to do before you take the black walnut bath, what you do after, things that you need to avoid after you take it as well. I do have a 30% off sale going on right now that's going to end on Monday. So go ahead and get it because I only have a limited stock of the baths available. I actually took a black walnut bath myself about a month ago. And when I took the bath, I remember when I was preparing the bath, it was very intense. I remember crying, and it almost kind of felt like somebody punched me in my stomach. It almost kind of felt like I found out somebody died or something. Like, it was very intense. But everyone's process and everyone's experience is going to be different. I've heard many stories. People have gotten sick after taking the bath. People have, you know, been spotting, people throw up. It really just depends what people go through after they take the black walnut bath, and I do talk about that in the instruction manual of the black walnut bath set. The way things are going to be dispelled and released out of your energetic field, it just depends on the person how we release certain things. But I do remember after I took the black walnut bath, I did feel relieved. But at the same time, I was kind of like in this space of what's next. So I was still a little vulnerable, but it wasn't as bad as I thought or expected it to be. Like, I went on about my day. I still had like lingering thoughts and feelings about them, but I understand that it was a process. It's not an overnight process of you're going to immediately get over the person. So yeah, after I took the black walnut bath, I did experience these brief highs and lows of grief. A little sadness where this person's energy was still lingering. This person, I could still feel them pulling on my energy because when you take a black walnut bath, not only will you feel, they will feel it as well. The energy that's being released. So they may try to pull in on your energy. Some of them, they may even try to reach out to you. It really just depends. They may even come and appear in your dreams. You may have constant thoughts about this person. Um, because you're still removing the bulk of that energy. Just think about it. You're purging, you know, a person you could have been attached to and dealing with for years. All of those things are replaying. It's still removing, you're still purging. So I knew that it was a whole process. And I remember at one point I was really sad and I broke down. And it wasn't because I wanted him back, it was simply because I was thinking about the dream that I had set around us being together and starting a family and everything. All of that was just stripped away from me. All the expectations that I had, um, all the disappointments, everything was just replaying. And I remember breaking down because I'm like, it's over now. And after I went through all of that, it was this place of acceptance. So I accepted what happened. I accepted, that, this could be the end of this situation. And I don't need to look back, and I don't need to, because everything that's done is done. And now I am in this space of ease, peace. I went through the motions and I accepted things for what they are. And I'm able to look back and understand why things didn't work out, why I had to let that situation go so that I can move on to the next experience. The woman that I was before I was dealing with this person, I'm a completely different woman. I'm a completely different person. I don't really have a desire to be in a relationship or date right now. Like, it's really just me. Like, I love my freedom. You know, I just feel very blessed, and my focus has been me, you know. So that's what I can say about the black walnut bath, is that it really changed me for the better. But it wasn't just the bath itself, because the black walnut bath is the tool. What really changed it was I was still doing the work. You know, I was still working on myself. Because I know that I'm not perfect either. You know, I had to kind of look back at how I operated, you know, things that I need to do better, you know, when it comes to relationships, you know, moving forward. So, still doing the work on myself. And I still think about him from time to time because he is a twin flame. And that's another thing that, you know, we'll get into, because um, when it comes to the twin flame dynamic, I feel like it's a little different than if you're dealing with a karmic situation or a soulmate or whatever. Um, when it comes to a twin flame, everyone is not meant to be with their twin flame. Everyone is not meant to be in reunion with their twin flame. A lot of people don't even have twin flames. That's the thing. Everyone does not have a twin flame. And it doesn't make the twin flame dynamic doesn't make any other relationship more special than any other, because you can still get a beautiful and a fulfilling relationship with a soulmate. You know, it's just a different dynamic. It doesn't make it any more special than any other relationship, you know. But when it comes to the twin flame dynamic, what I believe is that when you take a black walnut bath to release a twin flame, what you're actually releasing is the illusion. You're releasing the illusion, the expectation, the disappointment. It's really about self mastery and ascension. What I was taught is that your twin flame is your perfect mirror, and your soulmate is your perfect match. I just wish that people stop trying to romanticize the twin flame dynamic, the whole runner tracer phase, and the whole, you know, your twin flame don't cheat on you, your twin flame not abusive. That is all bullshit. I said this before. People need to stop. You know, this person is meant to teach you a lot about yourself. More so, it's about self mastery, and it's not going to be in the ways that feel good all the time. You know, of course, the sex is bomb. Of course, you know, the chemistry is on fire. It's beautiful. It can really be something beautiful. It's a spiritual relationship, but before you can get all to the gushy stuff, you got to get to the nasty stuff first. But again, everyone's situation is different. Every dynamic is different. Everyone is not meant to be in reunion. Some of us are better off with being with a soulmate. I'm fine with that. The love will always be there, of course. But you know, at the end of the day, just because that's my twin flame, that doesn't mean that, you know, we're meant to be together forever. I don't I don't own nobody. I don't belong to nobody, and nobody belongs to me. I don't belong to nobody but God. So I'm going to end it with this before I go. Make sure that after you take your black walnut bath, that you take your white bath, you need to seal it with something else. You know, you still may be in a very vulnerable or emotional state, and that's fine. That's your system just recalibrating itself. You're still processing it. So all of that is completely fine. I wouldn't just jump back into doing you know, going out, dating, having sex, and all those things. Give yourself time. Give yourself time to really get to know the new you. This is a reset, you know. And another thing is, you know, just don't feel bad about having to let somebody go, a situation go. You know, we all relationships are not meant to last forever. Relationships are about relating. Just be grateful for all the experience and all the lessons that you had to learn.